giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, and double honor to the men of great millstone that's out there on the highway and byway, rain, sleet, or snow, pushing the truth, as well as pushing the truth all through the day, all through the night, over the internet, pushing the truth, waking up the elect to pull them out of a 2/3 state of mind, so that we can be beamed up onto a chair of salvation to live in the kingdom with King David and the supreme king Yahushua, which is the commander and authority and ruler of the planet, which was given to him by his father Yahweh. I like to add, I'm not a member of GMS, but I believe GMS has 100% truth of the Bible. To the Akra and Aqua that listen and learn, continue to faith for Yahweh by Shai, keep praying and repenting, and keep the laws and commandments to the best of your ability, as it states in John 14:15. If you love me, keep my commandment. Also, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandment, for this is the whole duty of man. Topic of my story that I'm about to talk about: what an anguish state we are in due to the curses. So, if you've been in the truth for a few weeks or a couple months or a couple years, you know that the curses is, Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 4 give you the blessing, 14 give you the blessing, Salakia, Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 give you the blessing, and Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 6, they give you the curses. So let's go ahead and jump right in it. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandment and his statute which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So we are a cursed people, the children of Israel, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. And you cannot get away from this curse. The only way we will get away from this curse is through death, or when Yahweh shall come beam us up in those chairs and we become a new person. The laws and commandment will be in our inward part. When we get on that chariot, the laws and commandment will be in our inner part. It will be in our mind. We'll be perfect. Before us right now, anguish is taking over on a lot of us. A lot of us, brothers and sisters that's in the truth. And to our brothers and sisters that are not in the truth, they just don't know that these curses fall on them as well. So let's get the definition of anguish. There you go. Already got it. Anguish. Severe mental or physical pain or suffering. Agony, pain, torment, torture, suffering, distress, ignis. See if I pronounce that right. Ignis.
Angst.
Angst. A feeling of deep anxiety or dread, typically an unfocused one about the human condition or the state of the world in general. So let's go back. Shalaki for that. I didn't mean to go there. It just kicked me out. Okay. Hopefully nobody won't call in. Okay, let's get to it. Misery, sorrow, grief, headache, heartbreak, righteousness, unhappiness, woe, destruction, desolation, despair, purgatory. And people think purgatory is talking about place you go. You don't go to heaven nor hell. You go to purgatory first. There's a lot of other stuff that, a lot of fables that the Christian, the Christianity people, put out there. Let's go there. See what it is. Purgatory. Mental anguish or suffering. That's all it is. Mental anguish and suffering. It's not a place where you go to hell and burn forever or whatever, a place that, you go and you reside there for a moment, then you go either to heaven or hell. No. So that's what it is. It's a mental and physical suffering. So just like this, just like this brother right here, he's going through mental anguish right now because whatever he did, he's locked up. You know, he's in trouble with the law. But let's go to the point where I need to be. So let me go. Let me start off at lamentation, and let's get the meaning of lamentation before I go any further. Lamentation.
Here's the definition of lamentation: the passionate expression of grief or sorrow, weeping.
So you already know. She just said it. The passionate expression of grief or sorrow, weeping. And that's the state of mind that we are in right now at this moment. And he's going, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to deliver us out of this anguish, this mental anguish, this physical anguish, mental anguish. You stress all the time. You worrying about how you going to pay your bills, how you going to put food on the table. You wondering, is your children going to be okay while you at work? It's a lot of crazy stuff going on with, school shootings and stuff like that. You don't know if you're going to get into a shootout at a grocery store. That's mental anguish, fearing, you know, and physical anguish is, you back problem from having to go to work every day, and they probably having you to lift something, 40, 50 pounds, and you trying to do your best to keep your job. You got to do the work in order to keep it. It's kind of hard right now to try to find work. So you got to hold on to it to the best of your ability, but you still going to work with back pain. Your feet bothering you because you're working on that hard concrete floor, or you're working on rocks. You wearing them steel-toe boots. Your bunions hurting you, your ankle hurting you. You know, your fingers from typing all day you got arthritis in your elbow, your knees. You can't hardly see. You have headaches, severe headaches. Those are well, that is a mental headache for having a severe headache. But for as anything dealing with your body aching, that's physical anguish, and we have that daily due to the curses. So let me just go into lamentation. I'm gonna start at 5, and I'm just gonna take it as far as I can through the Spirit. Lamentation 5:1. Remember, O Yahweh, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our heritage is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. And that heritage is our land. Our culture has been turned over to the people they call small hatters. If you know what I mean. So-called Jewish people have took over that land of Jerusalem, which the true Jews, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American people, we was the first there, and they have took our land, our culture, and claiming to be us. If you read Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, it tell you that they are the synagogue of Satan. They are not the true Jews. That's why they label themselves Jewish. And the IST, when you add that onto a word, is to be like. Verse 3, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mother are widows. Because we are lost people. We don't know our heritage, that have been ripped from us. Our father used to teach us, and mother used to teach us our nationality, who we once were, and now they have been ripped away from us. Verse 4, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. For verse 5, our neck are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. That's slavery. We have given the hand to the Egyptian and to the Assyrian to be satisfied with bread. Pretty much what 6 is saying, we have given the hand to the Egyptian and to the Assyrian to be satisfied with bread. When we went against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh laws and commandment, and the good Lord turned his head on us, we basically pretty much gave away our power to the heathen nation. And now we got to buy from them instead of buying from ourselves. Back in the day, we brought from each other, and also we did the barter system. If I had 300 cattle and you had wood or whatever, and I needed wood and you needed my cattle, we'll swap. Okay, this is the amount I give you for that amount of wood that I want. We had a bartering system. But when we went against the Heavenly Father, He took that power, that love that we had for one another away from us, and He gave that power to the heathen nations. And the heathen nations are those people that had us in captivity. The Africans, so-called Africans, the so-called Arabs, and Esau, Edom, and you had other heathen nations that played a part in our demise also. The Chinese, the French, whoever, all of them had a hand in our demise. Because it says here also, let's go to, I got a precept for that, in Deuteronomy 28 and 48. It said, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in what of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed us. So when it says here, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, we're serving our enemy in slavery. All through those captivities, 7 captivities, we serve our enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, thirst, and nakedness. So when we were serving those captivity, like I said, we gave up our power, but not keeping the law and the commandment, because the good Lord, took that away from us because we weren't keeping the law and the commandment, and He gave our power to those heathen nations and those particular captivity, and we had to go to them for hunger, for food, thirst for water, and nakedness for clothes. So, that's the precept to Lamentation 6. Verse 7, our father have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquity. We have carried our father's iniquity. Verse 7, servants have ruled over us. There is none that do deliver us out of their hand. Servants have ruled over us. At one point, we was in rulership. And the African, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Japanese, and the rest of the other heathen nation, they were serving us, especially under King David, also under King Saul, you know, when he was in power, King Saul, King David, and King Solomon, you know, we was ruling over those other nations, you know. So now the servant is ruling over us, and there is none that do deliver us out of their hand. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 60. We go 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Egypt is symbolic to slavery, bondage. Again with ships. By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. Talking about your homeland. And there ye shall be sold to your enemy for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you. No man shall redeem you and bring you back to your homeland. We are servants to a people that was once servants to us. And we are out of our land, which is Jerusalem, and we are here in America serving Esau, Edom, and and this land that he stole from our brothers and sisters from the Northern Kingdom, and both Northern and Southern Kingdom are in this land that we serve captivity, and no other country, no other nation was willing to come and deliver us out of the hand of Esau to bring us back into our homeland, which is Jerusalem. So let's go back to Lamentations 5 and 8. Servant have ruled over us. There is none that do deliver us out of their hand. So none of the other nations are willing to come together and say, listen, we need to get the children of Israel out of the north, which is talking about America, North America, and take them out of the captivity where they once served, where they still serving right now. It's not cattle slavery like it used to be, after the late 1800s, but we are still serving another group of people in this land. We making pennies while they making millions off us. That is considered slavery. That's another type of slavery. They throw a lot of our people in those jails to do what? Free labor. That's slavery. They make heinous laws that's contrary against our biblical laws that the good Lord gave to the children of Israel. That is slavery. They are they using their rule and power over our power, which is laws and commandment, you know, and they use the Bible as a deceivable tool, as if they believe, and they really don't. Because if they did, they would go by the Bible. But this particular man that's in power to run America, he do not favor the Bible. He don't get along with the Bible. That's why he's contrary with the Bible by passing. I'm not gonna go into detail by saying what I want to say, but you know, you know, the alphabet people, and women that want to, um, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? They want to do away with their babies, and I don't want to get too. Um, I don't want to go. I don't want to get too far into it, but you know what I'm saying. They want to do away, underline do away, and that's a big thing that's going on right now. So if America was wholeheartedly 100% in agreement with the Bible, would none of this would go down. And then on top of that, the children of Israel will be back in their homeland. But It's not time yet. Okay, verse 9. We got our bread with the perilous of our life because of the sword of the wilderness. Verse 10. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Not being able to eat out there in the hot sun, living amongst wild animals, you know, all types of stuff that, brothers, that men and women was faced with living in outside condition. That's a hellish condition when you living like an animal, you know. Verse 11, because let's going back to 9, it was talking about perilous time in the wilderness when we fled from the Egyptian and we went into the wilderness and we stayed in the wilderness for 40 years. But the good Lord, he took care of us. But in the beginning, a lot of our people were murmuring. They were saying they wanted to go back to Egypt because they were thirsty, they were hungry, you know, and they were just out in the wilderness, you know. And a lot of people cannot live in that type of comfort. That's to them, that's not comfort. For a lot of us, that is not comfort. Because when somebody take you out of your comfort zone, even if you were in captivity, then you go into the wilderness. Now you living amongst the lions and tigers and bears and snakes and all different types of creepy things. You're going to be uneasy. You're going to be uncomfortable. But a lot of our people during that time let their irritantness, well, I know I pronounced it wrong, their uncomfortableness um, um, go against the laws and commandments of the good Lord, because they went and they made a golden calf and they started worshiping that golden calf the same way they did when they was in captivity in Africa, so in Egypt. So let's go down. I'm gonna read 10 again. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. Verse 11. Uh, they ravaged the women in Zion and the maid in the city of Judah. And you're gonna have a lot of that going on when Jacob trouble really turns up. A lot of you women that want to be single, a lot of you women that say they don't need a man, a lot of you women that hate men and but end up getting a baby and want to put them on child support, call the police on them. Hey, it's gonna be time when the police can't help you during the time of Jacob trouble. So, ladies, you need to get in order. Find you a man that's in the truth. And if you not looking for a man, you need to cling on to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Learn the name, study, look at the videos. You got children, you need to teach your son, teach your daughters. Because you got to put in work also. If you don't have no man, you got to teach your children. you know if you know a man that's in the truth, you need to cling on to him. You need to ask him questions. You need to get with him. A lot of time, hey, it's not all about looks. It's all about salvation now. you know you want to get that understanding. You want to be saved. Looks are not going to get you saved and put on those ships, put on those chariots. So it's going to be a lot of rape of men and women during that time. Not only women, but men too. Look at some of these movies, that that Hollywood is playing now. Look at the Ends of Time movies. You know, like say a Book of Eli, I Am Legend. Black Summer, Night of the Living Dead. Night Walkers or whatever. Look at those. Another one is The Purge. Look at all that. These movies here is not made just for show. It's a purpose behind these movies. This is really going to happen. the famine of the land, the famine of the word, you know, pestilence, you know, pestilence. Now they got this new disease that's called monkey paw or whatever, monkey something, monkey something. I can't think of it. And you got the the other one that been here now for 2 years. I ain't gonna say the word, but I say cat 19. We'll just leave it like that. Those your pestilence. You got chemtrail that they spraying in the sky that's killing the earth, the trees, the grass, and causing people to get different types of sickness. They can't hardly breathe because of what's been put in the air. Those your pestilence. And like I said, the famine is they say we got like 10 weeks of wheat, because wheat is used in all types of products. So you got 10 weeks of that. And that's the coming of famine. You go in some of these stores, a lot of the shelves are clean. That's the beginning of famine, when you don't have food to buy. And when you don't have food in your house, people gonna come out the house, start knocking on your door. They're gonna knock once. They're gonna knock twice. The third time they coming in through the door, through the window, through the chimney. They're gonna bust through the wall, bust through your windows. And I always say, if they coming in my house, more than I can handle, best thing to do, let them have it. Get out your house and let them have it. You have to trust in Yahweh Bashim Shah that he's going to deliver you out of this here. You know, if he put the spirit in a raven to bring, I forgot what prophet that good Lord put the spirit and that bird to bring him food. Why not you? Why not me? If he can do that to one prophet, I know he can do that to his prophets that's out here on the highway and byway and doing these videos today, that's calling on his name. Okay, so let's get back to the lesson. Lamentation 5 and 12. Princes are hung up by their hand, and the faith of the elders were not honored. So, they killing our young man, disrespecting the head, our older men. Verse 13. And this is going to go on in the time of Jacob trouble, so, this just getting you ready, getting you prepared what to look for. Verse 13. They took the young man to grind, and the children fall under the wood. The young man to grind, the children under the wood. Like I said, as a type of slavery. That's slavery. 14. The elder have ceased from the gate, the young man from their music. The elders, they weren't able to teach the young man. There was no leadership. There was no leadership from the elders and the young men as well. I mean, they couldn't get that new song. That new song is learning who you are in this Bible. The nationality, your culture. That's the new song that a lot of people of Israel today don't know the true name of Yahweh Bashim Shai, who he is, and he's not the white man. Verse 15, the joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning. So the music and all of the music is now all about death. No joy in it. You know, it says that the joy of our heart is ceased. Our dances turn into mourning. Look at a lot of our rap music. What is it? Uh, Rap music normally pushes what? Death, crime, drugs. You know, whoring out your women, but mostly death. You know, and a lot of our rappers that's in that what's the name of it? Um, I believe it's called drill rap or something like that. You know, a lot of those brothers, you know, they dying left and right. I mean, uh, it's more rappers dying more than people killing roaches in their house, man. And you got guys still want to jump in that and claiming in they mind that, well, this ain't gonna happen to me. Well, your rap, the way you rap, is the same thing, the same way that other brother that died, he rapped the same way. You know, rapping, you know, being prideful, talking about murder, talking about, you know, drugs and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he end up dying. Here you come, you doing the same thing. Then you die. Then another guy come, he do the same thing, rap about the same thing. Then he die over and over and over and over. And these people, the small headers that's over the music industry, they don't care. They really don't. They just want you to put out evil music that will cause your community, your race of people to be drugged up, to whore out your women, and cause violence, which will equal death. They want your 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 community to be destroyed and live in sin. That's the whole purpose. Because I remember when they had back in the late '80s and the early '90s, where they had some positive rap mixed in with the street stuff. So the power to be decided to do away with the positive rap and go ahead and put more hardcore, you know, death music, death rap in the game. This is what's going on, deceiving these young guys, you know, giving them record deals right off top for speaking some defile stuff, abominable stuff, you know, bringing death to your community. That's what they are giving these guys, all this money just to push that agenda into your community. Well, like I said, you know, we cause our own anguish. We cause our own anguish, mental and physical anguish. Verse 16, the crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned. 17, for this our heart is faint, weak, no strength. And the heart is talking about your mind. For these things our eyes are dim, because of the mountain of Zion, which is desolated. The foxes walk upon it. The fake Jews, they are in our homeland, claiming to be us. Verse 19. Thou, matter of fact, for verse 18, you can read it in, like I said, Revelation 2 and 9, and also Revelation 3 and 9. Those are two precepts for Lamentation 5 and 18. 19. Thou, O Yahweh, remainest forever, thy throne from generation to generation. Wherefore dost thou forget us forever and forsake us so long time? 21. Turn thou us unto thee, O Lord, and we shall be turned. Renew our days as of old. but thou hast utterly rejected us. Thou art very wroth against us. Your heavenly Father was very angry against us because we have, broken his laws and commandments. We have broken the covenant. We had did so much horrendous stuff, and we still doing it today. We still being disobedient. Eating abominable food, having sex with another man's wife, a woman cheating on her husband, dealing with another man. We celebrating these holidays, celebrating your birthday, celebrating, uh, uh, um, you know, going along with wicked people of this society, saying that the ABC agenda is the right thing to do, or the good Lord is with women that want to do away with their babies. See, that's why we are under these curses. And, we are just in a state of anguish due to the curses. And the only way we're going to be delivered from this, from that mental and physical anguish, either we die or Yahweh shall come and deliver us on those chariots. Well, I'm going to end it right there. Hopefully this was edifying. This was just in the spirit. And I'll see you on next lesson. Shalom.